broke the curse, whatever you want to call it. The Dallas Cowboys put on a second-half show on Thanksgiving, sweeping the Giants to kick off the holiday season. I'm Haley Sutton, here to take you back through all the action on Cowboys Rewind. After trailing 13-7 at halftime, Dallas responded with 21 unanswered points in the second half to beat the Giants 28-20, marking the first time this season the Cowboys have overcome a halftime deficit. Ezekiel Elliott scoring the first touchdown of the game for the Cowboys, finishing the afternoon with 92 yards on the ground. I caught up with the vet in the locker room after the game. Joined here by running back Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke, obviously always a good opportunity to get a win on Thanksgiving. How good does it feel to get this one behind you?
It definitely feels good. It definitely feels good coming off that short week. Big game versus a division opponent. We had the same record coming in. Whoever wins this one's gonna be one spot higher. But came out in the first half. We had some self-inflicted wounds, but got in the locker room before the second half, made our adjustments, and locked in and came out and played well in the second.
What was the conversation in the locker room like going into that third quarter? You guys seem to always come out and perform well in that third quarter. What was the conversation like today?
Just a lot of times they were stopping us in that first half. Really was us. It was self-inflicted penalties, self-inflicted mistakes, and just got to lock in and keep swinging in the second half. 92
yards for you, a touchdown again. How good are you feeling going into the back half of this season?
I'm feeling good. Taking a couple weeks off definitely helped. Just getting healthy for this final stretch of the season, and I'm glad we got that win today and ready to keep this thing rolling.
How did you feel about Jake Ferguson's hurdle? Did it compare to anything you've done, or did you give him any pointers on that?
He definitely got up. The form was a little raggedy, but he got heart.
You mentioned the short week, and now you get a little bit of time off. How important is it to take that time off to get your body right, get prepped for that next game?
It's important, mentally and physically to, get this time off. Tonight get to hang out with some family, get to hang out with family all weekend and kind of reboot and, get ready for this final stretch of the season.
That was going to be my last question. What's your Thanksgiving plans?
Chef Hoppy cooked while we were at the game. Got a lot of family in town, so just going to kick it in and spend time with the family.
Are you a turkey guy or a ham guy?
I don't mess with the swine, so turkey.
All right, there you have it. Zeke, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wins hit just a little bit different during the holidays. The Cowboys secure second place with the win and now sit just 1.5 games back from the Philadelphia Eagles. As we know, that game is officially less than 1 month away, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. First, we hear from QB1 on the team's second half comeback. That's coming up next on Cowboys Rewind.
Cowboys Rewind is brought to you by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. This segment is brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Dak Prescott lost back-to-back games to the Giants to start his career. Since then, he's rattled off 10 straight wins against the division rival and made sure to let us know that he keeps that stat in the back of his mind every time he faces them. After throwing 2 interceptions in the first half, he once again led the team to victory in the second.
We got off of our own feet. Excuse me. We stopped stepping on our toes, making self-inflicted mistakes. Didn't turn the ball over. And we're able to get in that rhythm, get back to what I talked about in the past. Our standard and expectation, and pretty much scoring on every drive, except the last one, and then the nil possession, going out there and kneeling. And that's what we're capable of doing when we're heightening our focus, executing in between the whistle and just finishing. And that's what that is our standard, and that's what we're going to hold each other to. And when we're not doing that in the first half, it's tough. But we understand that. This is the NFL, and it's tough. It's not going to always go our way and always be perfect, but we've got to be committed to each other, committed to our game plan, and just stay at it.
I got to ask, did you think the CD catch was a touchdown, and what did you think of whack-a-mole?
I definitely thought the CD catch was a touchdown. I mean, I went to the sideline, dropped my helmet and everything. So it was an amazing catch, regardless of his feet. His heel came down out of bounds or whatever that rule is, just a different rule. Sideline versus end zone, don't quite understand that. A catch is a catch. And then the whack-a-mole was great. The guys told me about it earlier in the week. They were worried about getting fined or getting a penalty. We said, make sure you're up 2 touchdowns, and we got a couple of guys that can help with the fine, so go for it.
Dak, James Hadnot, KSLA News 12. I wanted to ask about the efficiency on 3rd down. The team was so efficient throughout the contest, and why was that so important for you guys in the second half especially?
Yeah, I mean, we're focused. We know this team can give some problematic looks. They definitely got us on 1 or 2 of them early. But then we obviously came into halftime, made some adjustments, blocked some things up, got one-on-ones with our guys, and CD was big on 3rd down, and not just him, the offensive line protecting. And it just goes into us focusing, understanding our job on 3rd down and our responsibility, and then executing. And we're able to do that and get things going. And as I said, got in a roll and we're able to put some points up consecutively.
430 total yards of offense from the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott finishing the afternoon, tossing 2 touchdowns, both to his tight end, Dalton Schultz, in his 3rd career multi-touchdown game. Number 86 had 4 receptions for 31 yards.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, L-Dub sets the tempo in our room. Our meetings are always engaging, always fun. We're always learning something new, and I think we have a group that complements each other's skill set really well. So to come out and have the production like we did today, it was awesome. It's good to see. Honestly, I did not. I didn't know that it was squishy either. So I was a little happy on that. Sean had a hard time getting into the bucket.
So you got the scouting report.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't play great in the first half, but you turned it on in the second half. I mean, what happened? What clicked? Do you feel like in that play?
We just started playing together. We came in, not a whole lot changed in our game plan, but we made a couple of minute adjustments. Honestly, we kept calling basically the same stuff that we called in the first half. We were just executing at a higher level, mixing it up. I've said this from day one. I feel like we're at our most dangerous when we're on the ball, and I think we did a good job of executing on the ball today.
Last week it was Zeke and Tony with 2 touchdowns. Today you had that. I mean, Dak was connected with all.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say as a whole, it's a selfless group. Nobody cares who's really getting the credit right now, and you got a dangerous football team when that happens. A lot of guys playing for each other, and again, I think the execution coming out in the second half again was just at an all-time high, and that's just selfless football.
Was that a simple corner route on the first touchdown, and how big was scoring that touchdown in the flow of the game?
I mean, as big as any other play in the game, honestly. We knew that they were playing inside leverage. I don't know if they called that for me, but Dak saw the inside leverage and got to it quick, and he put it in a great spot to make a play.
Do you have any advice to tight ends about leaping over safeties?
Yeah, I would say don't, but the film would say otherwise. So,
coaches like to say you kind of find out what your team is around Thanksgiving. How would you describe where your team is now and where it can go?
We still have so much that we can improve on. Obviously, the first half stuff we're gonna go back and watch and clean all that up. But I feel like we're just starting to get the ball rolling. And I mean, that's dangerous, especially when you get into late November, December, and your team starts hitting peaks. That's really what we're playing for. We're playing against ourselves. We're playing to improve on what we've done every single week, and regardless of the score. So.
The tight end room turning heads, but they weren't the only ones to make a big impact on offense. CeeDee Lamb made a statement without even scoring a touchdown. I'll tell you how next on Cowboys Rewind.
This segment was brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Every Friday and Saturday night through December 17th, Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza ignites the star in Frisco with an unforgettable holiday performance showcasing the world-renowned Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, your favorite Dallas Cowboys football heroes, and of course, Santa Claus as well. Visit stardistrict.com/Christmas for more information. Well, CeeDee Lamb has had some incredible catches in his career, but boy, was he on his game yesterday, making several one-handed grabs in the win, one of which was ruled not a catch in the end zone. We won't talk about that one, though. Wide receiver one spoke about his performance as well as the Cowboys' game day fashion after the game.
We've seen you make some ridiculous catches before. Where would you put the one-hander? Where does that rate?
It ain't there yet, bro. It's not even yet now.
No, is that even rate?
Nah, it don't rate.
Why not? Why not?
Because it's just like, I mean, yeah, it was difficult. Neither did it count. So I'm sick.
What about the one down the sidelines too, just grabbing that play? Take us through that play. What happened? What you saw? I mean, did you just immediately go one hand?
To be honest, I've been getting held all night. They're holding one arm, and I understood that, and it was the same arm, the left one. So I only have my right hand. I just got to start using it.
When you saw Ferguson leap, what did you think?
I mean, I loved it. I loved that. Don't get me wrong. But he got to stay on the ground, bro. You know what I'm saying? My man just messed up his knee. He'll be all right, but good play by him.
He said he's never cleared anybody before.
He hasn't? Oh, that was Henny that did that the first time, huh? For sure.
Talk about how this team is able to fight through 13 penalties out there and still win the game.
Man, I don't know. That's self-inflicting. We got to fix that. Honestly, I feel like in the situation to where we're in and where we're going to be, 13 penalties is not going to cut it, so we know we got to fix that. But as far as us playing and play style, I feel like we're very physical, and we did what we had to do to come out victorious.
A lot of people are talking about the uniforms and how much they liked it.
Right.
What did you think of the look?
Come on, man. You know, boy, got to stay fly. Hey, if it worked, I'm going to keep doing it. But I for sure love the fit. That was my first time actually wearing the throwback unis, and it felt good to represent the boys.
6 catches in his second 100-yard game this season. He also added 31 rushing yards as well. His fellow wide receiver Michael Gallup is also hitting his stride. In a season-high 5-catch, 63-yard performance, Gallup was vintage number 13, reminding defense how much of an aerial threat he is. Time to switch to the other side of the ball. The defense continues to stack up those sacks, including Micah Parsons, a first for the young defender. Next on Cowboys Rewind. When Micah Parsons sacked Daniel Jones yesterday, it was the first time in his career to get a hit on the Giants play caller. Just one of 2 sacks the Lions tallied in the win. Micah is now up to 12 on the season, just one shy of league-leading Matthew Judon.
It's a lot of emphasis on stopping the run and gap discipline and trusting the guy next to you, setting edges. How do you feel you guys were able to kind of go about stopping Saquon today?
I thought we did pretty good. I mean, might have had 1, maybe 2 explosive runs, but for the most part, contained them, made sure everything was short. They passed way more than we was probably expecting. So I think we did a pretty good job for the way he's been playing this year.
The resilience is the word of the year. Y'all show more resiliency in that second half.
Yeah, we had to come out and fight. Definitely not a pretty first half. Definitely not the way we want to start, but for the most part, we came out in that second half and dominated.
Like defensively, you guys really held them to like almost 1 first down until that last drive on 3rd down. So what was the execution like on 3rd down? Why was that so important for you guys, I think?
Just getting off the field. Everything was, I think that's the key. And the more we can get the ball back to our offense, the better things could get going. So, as more drives we could get them, the more they could catch in their rhythm, the more they could put points on the board, as you can see towards the end. I mean, not just as the organization, but in general, we just got to count our blessings, just being thankful and having gratitude. We was able to, healthy enough to come out here and play, healthy enough to lead the field, just gratitude. We made it to another day, another Thanksgiving, man. That's what it's really all about. And I think it's so special here because I think everyone's here thankful to be here, thankful to represent the Star, and just thankful overall.
Micah, you talked last week after the win that it was important for you guys to play consistently, that you showed it what you guys can be in flashes. But the fact that you guys were on a short week and put together back-to-back wins against two tough opponents, what does it say about how you guys have been able to build?
It just says we build in the right direction. Shows that, we could fight through anything with a short week. The Vikings was a hell game through injuries and so forth, and to come back 4 days later and put on that win, that's huge, huge momentum booster, and it gets us to leaning towards next week for that Sunday night game.
You guys that were in masks during the week, a lot of guys getting sick. how do you feel like you guys were able to just kind of have a positive mentality of kind of next man up in case anyone went down because of that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone stayed positive. I think it's just a flu bug going around. I think everyone's catching it. Even the Giants caught it, you know what I'm saying? So I was just going around, but just staying positive, knowing that if someone goes down, we know we so deep over here. So just knowing that, you know, next guy could come in to play no matter what.
You're close to Saquon. Do you say anything with him pregame, during the game?
Yeah, I always tell him it's all love, brother. You know, we don't stay safe. Person I stay in touch with no matter what. And, you know, I know it's love, vice versa.
Dallas still leads the NFL with 45 sacks, the second most in team history through the first 11 games of the season, trailing only the 1985 team who had 47. Time for our final break, but when we return on Cowboys Rewind, Patrick Walker joins us to give his final thoughts on the game.
Cowboys Rewind was brought to you by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. SWBC Mortgage. Join the more than 120,000 customers that we've helped to find their happier way home. Visit swbcmortgage.com to find a pro today. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
The Dallas Cowboys are the only team in the NFL this season to not allow a touchdown in the first quarter of the game and have now beat the Giants in 11 of their last 12 meetings. Patrick Walker joined me on the show to talk about what the win meant and what it means for America's team going forward. Here with Patrick "No C" Walker after a successful Dallas Cowboys Thanksgiving. Patrick, first time in a while the Cowboys have won on Thanksgiving. Give me your initial impressions of today's game.
I love the fact that they once again overcame adversity. Resiliency is the word that the Cowboys have used as their mantra for 2022, and it continues to show itself. Tough first half to go in at halftime. They've become a very strong third quarter team. Once again today on Thanksgiving, they proved that, but more importantly, they closed out the game in the fourth quarter.
Dak Prescott just talked to us actually about the third quarter efficiency. He said kudos to the coaching staff. They're able to analyze the first half mistakes and then come back in the second half and apply them pretty quickly. How impressive have they been in the second half as they make those adjustments?
Outside of the Green Bay game, the Cowboys have been very, very impressive in the third and the fourth quarter. If they can continue to get on fast starts as they did against the Minnesota Vikings, this can be a very dangerous team in all three phases of the game. But again, the name of the game for them is going to be consistency to go along with that resiliency.
I was going down my list of who I wanted to be my MVP of this game, and 3 out of the 4 came from the same room. I think you get the vibe that I'm going on. The tight ends were exceptional today, whether it was Jake Ferguson's hurdle, Peyton Hendershot's celebration into that Salvation Army kettle, even Dalton Schultz with a 2-touchdown performance. How much of an asset is it to have 4 tight ends on an active roster for a team like this?
It's magnificent, and I love the fact, Haley, you said 4 as opposed to 3, because let's not forget the contributions from Sean McEwen. There are times when McEwen is in the backfield being a lead blocker for Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. So when you're getting that type of dirty hands production from those guys, as well as the pretty production, the touchdowns, the hurdles, and shouts out to Jake Ferguson, who came back to the game on 2 separate occasions after possible injury and showed everyone that he's perfectly healthy and hurdling another grown man. But that 4-headed monster, which I think they're calling themselves the 4 Horsemen, could work out very well for the Cowboys going forward.
Zeke did tell me that he didn't like Jake's form, so we'll have to see on that who's doing better. We'd be remiss when we're talking about this offense, though, if we didn't talk about the performance of CeeDee Lamb. That touchdown that probably was a touchdown that was ruled not a touchdown. We spoke about that in the press box. How much has he developed as this season has gone on?
You know, early in the season there were question marks around if CeeDee Lamb could in fact be the wide receiver 1 for this team after the team decided to trade Amari Cooper. Didn't necessarily see that over the first several games, struggled to get some timing with Cooper Rush, but more and more as he and Dak get on the same page, now that Dak is back post-injury, you're seeing CeeDee Lamb step into that role as WR1, Michael Gallup as WR2, and if they can in fact add Odell Beckham to this mix, this offense can be very dangerous.
He's got a visit coming up in December. As we wrap up here, Patrick, I know coming out of that Vikings game there were questions still about the run defense. Did they just play really well, or was it because they got ahead? After today's performance, holding Saquon Barkley to under 100 yards, again, Are you convinced that this run defense is improving?
I absolutely am. If you look at the 2 consecutive weeks, first we're talking about Dalvin Cook, and now we're talking about Saquon Barkley, 2 of inarguably the best running back talents in the league, basically shut down en route to victories for the Dallas Cowboys. Statement wins, if you will, because while the Giants are battling some injury, they're still in the running for playoff contention and potentially more. So to be able to shut down 2 consecutive running attacks, that tells me a lot of promises coming for the Cowboys defense.
A special holiday win here at AT&T Stadium. They get a little bit of a bye week, and then we get back to work next week. Patrick, you can catch all of his stuff on DallasCowboys.com and follow him on Twitter. The Dallas Cowboys are now 8-3, sitting in second place of the NFC East. Their next opponent, a Sunday night football matchup against the Indianapolis Colts. That's on December 4th, so we've got plenty of time to get you ready for that one, but that'll do it for us here on Cowboys Rewind. I'll see you next week.